Hello friends, welcome back to Podbox. Today I am talking about a student entrepreneur who took the off-road journey into tech startup being from a non-IT background, who walked the journey of hustling along with education. From co-founding Buildable at the age of 19 to becoming a business analyst at Wipro, we dress up the way who will narrate his experience, his journey, and extend his knowledge about technology, engineering, business, and startups. So let's get started. Hello, Arisa. Welcome to Podbox.
Hi, Siddharth. Thank you for inviting me to inviting to your podcast. So thank you. Thanks a lot.
How are you, Harisa?
I'm doing all good. What about you, Siddharth?
Yeah, I am fine. All going good.
So, congratulations for, bringing up Podbox as the podcast channel. So
Yeah,
best
thank
wishes
you so
for
much.
your,
Thank
yeah.
you for your wishes. Harisa, would you like to tell about yourself, about your basic education and startup?
Okay. So basically, hello, everyone. I am Rishabh Dubey. I'm presently working as business analyst at Winfo Solutions Hyderabad. It's a London-based startup and we are of 8 million size. Also, basically to tell you more about my educational background, I have an honors degree in BTech mechanical engineering. And to tell more about my interest, I'm a startup enthusiast. I love to get out of my comfort zone, do new things, and learn new technologies. So that's a bit about me.
Harisa, you started a startup when you were in second year of your tech. So, would you like to give some insight on it?
Siddharth, so basically what happened, when I joined engineering, so I always thought that I won't do engineering for the sake of, degree. I believe that, I would try each and everything out, that is possible for me and that I think I have some capability. So I thought to try it out and, I did many things from research, teaching students, startup. Then, I took part in some dramatics, I joined a club for drama, and I did a lot, a lot more. So basically, in the year 2019, we got a chance to participate in hackathon that was organized by Jabalpur Smart City, which, opened our gates to the journey for the startup. So basically, I never thought that I would be working in a startup. And so, but, that gave us a possibility. So I with one of my friend participated in the contest. We secured our rank in the top 30 and we were offered an incubation center, to be as an incubatee. So that opened the floor. So basically at that time, the idea was very different. It was a plant-based approach. We were about to set up a plant and with that would create hydrogen. It was a very unique approach, but later we realized that, it takes a lot of efforts and it would take around three plus million, $3 million plus amount to, as the initial investment. So, then we realized, no, that it is not the best thing. And we consulted various people and they even said that we don't have that expertise. So we should not make our hands dirty. Then we went with, I thought that, we should not just waste this opportunity. We should grab some hands. So I asked few of my friends, we found various people. We interviewed them and we finally, made a team of 8 people who were core technical. And only I was the one who was, dealing with the business. So, and the rest of the team was technical team. So, we created Buildover, which is the next generation interactive platform where one can get everything from man, machine to material, everything at one platform to build their dream home. So that was what we did.
Harisa, how this idea of a startup get stuck to your mind? Why did you get for it?
Basically, it was created by one of my friends, one of my colleagues in our team. So what happened, he was living in a PG and his house owner, his landlord was, you know building and renovating his house. So, there was a lot of, chows being made. He was not finding the right kind of people. He was not finding the material at the best price. So we thought that this is an opportunity for us to, to we look at the gaps of the market and the industry. It since construction is a very unorganized sector, it's very unorganized sector. And we should also remember that, at construction, we don't know, where we are getting the right price. So basically we thought to disrupt the market where we can generally, bring the best people and the best price at one platform. So that was how this idea generated, and we initially tried to make a MVP. So that is all about how Buildo ideated.
Sounds good. Harisa, what was your key driving force to become an entrepreneur?
Well, see, nobody wants to live a simple, normal life, the life of a common man, but at some point of time, I agree that we all are a common man. So that basically what happened, I always wanted to do something different. I wanted to create some value for the society. So, that is what something, I always aspire of, where I can contribute, I can add some value to my nation. So this is what is my, key driving force, because if you won't do it, someone else would do it. So why not you? So that was, something that has.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I also don't want to do some simple life. I also
Yeah,
want
definitely.
something different in life.
Yeah, so we should try, you should get out of our comfort zone and we should move out. So, great job. You're going good, Siddharth.
Harisa, before starting in the startup, so what such important things need to remember before starting a startup? Yeah, it is important team building or funding for a startup. So please give some insight on startup.
All right, Siddharth. So, that's a exciting question, exciting question basically. So, let me tell you add to this. So basically, research, planning, execution, and then delivery. These are the most crucial aspects, So in the research, you must know who are your competitors. What are you exactly doing? What is the problem of that industry? If you don't solve it, nobody is going to, pay you a buck. Then planning, basically students usually go, they just execute things without planning anything. We even did this, and that was one of the biggest mistake that we ever made. So we should not go for it, such things. We should plan things properly, and we should ensure that we follow the plan. We take a backup of it. Then execute, make the, startup is all, these days tech startups are working, they are going good. We are having 19 unicorns this year. So that shows, we have a lot of capability, but that depends on the product that you have. So build a world-class, MVP. There are continuous improvement. There are a lot of examples of startup. Amazon started as a bookstore, and right now it's the biggest e-commerce platform. And they're, just expanding themselves there into AWS and much more. So basically, execution is very important. The user experience that you provide is very important. Then delivery to how you deliver the product to your customer. Are they getting some value or aren't they? So if they are getting value, they'll come back to you, they'll refer you. So these are the important things that you should remember. And a few more things I would like to add. Always remember your traction is more important. You can, if you are getting the traction, so you'll getting the customer validation. So people just say that I hear from many people that we don't have funding. Yet they just have an idea and they want funding. So I believe that no one will spend you money on your idea until you validate it. There are people who would be supporting you as a seed fund. There are incubators and various organizations that do so. So basically, getting a product is very important, and validating it is another important thing. Then, initially, once you have up your product, people, there are lots of VCs, lots of angel investors who are waiting to invest in you. So remember these things. And research is very important. Never fall in love with your, startup idea. You have to be agile and you have to make changes as per the time. So that's, what I think.
Harisa, what is your advice to student entrepreneur? Any do's and don'ts?
Yeah, basically, first and most important thing is, ideating properly. You should ideate very properly, and you should ensure that, you have proper planning, you have proper idea of what the market is. You make sure that your product has, what makes your product unique. You have to ensure that your product is unique and has different features. Next I would like to tell you that work on generating some traction, because revenue is something that would give you some sort of motivation, and that would help you boost your confidence. If you don't generate revenue, one day you'll feel frustrated, and you'll be like, oh shit, man, what I'm doing, and I'm gaining, I'm putting a lot of efforts and I'm not getting anything. So basically you have to remember this. So traction is very important, and getting the right team is the most crucial part. You can get everything, but you cannot get the right team. You have to get the right mix of marketing. You have to get the right mix of sales. You have to get, the most important thing is technology. Getting the technical people in. So, getting all those folks in one plate, who are in management, advertisement, marketing, sales, technology, delivery. So all this is very important, finding that right mix, and that is what very important. So you have to ensure that you have, the people who resemble to your, goals, your vision, and your mission. So that is, I would say that do's and don'ts. And, don't blindly run for the funding. You'll get it. If you have a product, if you have the capability, you'll definitely get it. There are lots of people, who are waiting to fund you. Just, build that capability, build that strength. So that's the do's and don'ts that I would suggest.
Harissa, we all know that you are a very innovative person. So I want to know how you generate such ideas.
Thanks for that compliment. I don't consider myself very innovative, but yeah, I think, how I can tell you how I did things. So basically, I think in a reverse psychology, I see what the problem is, and I found out what is the root cause of it. What is the root cause that is, making that problem, appear, and what is, creating that problem. So if we find the root cause, we can find the solution itself in the root cause. So we need to do analysis. It is a part of critical thinking. I'm very lucky that, I got to learn critical thinking from people at IIM Indore. So I was one of the few lucky people, who got an opportunity to attend an MDP, Management Development Program at IIM Indore. So there I learned a lot, of aspects of entrepreneurship and critical thinking. So, decision makings are also important. So the most critical thing is finding out the root cause, and, finding what are the sub causes of that problem, and then, find the solution inside it. So that is, my approach of how to identify.
Yeah. Rishabh, do you think that there is some sort of formula, a pattern to become an entrepreneur? If it is so, please give about.
I even wonder, I have this question to people, to the viewers, if someone has any such formula, I would be happy to, get them from it. I don't usually believe there is some formula to success. You can follow a pattern of steps and you will succeed. It is not the case in this field of the startups. Okay. Anyway, I don't believe it's, there can be a predefined traits, I was researching what are the traits of the most successful people. So yeah, there is a pattern in the traits and habits of the successful people, but there is no formula in my terms. Basically the hard work, the effort that you put will one day, that would lead to you to the success. But just putting your efforts in the right direction, making sure you're doing things in the right way, and make sure you're contributing and you're making some value. Then one day or the other, good things take some time to come. So
Yeah, that's true. So I want to know that who's motivate you? Like, who is your idol?
Basically, I have a lot of people backing me from behind. There is never a one-man army. There are a lot of people who back you from behind. So my parents, and I'm really, lucky to have them. They are the people who never let me down, who support me. When I am in my bad times, they are always there with me. I am also lucky, I have got a lots of good teachers at my school, during my education at the university as well. So I got a lot of people who motivate me, who support me. When I feel low, I just call one of my favorite faculties, and she guides me. So basically, there are a lot of people, who help me stay motivated. To talk about my ideal, so I'm very much influenced by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I love the way his simplicity, his knowledge, how down to earth he was, and how he created value for the nation. So that is something, I believe, is very much inspiring for me, and I consider him as my idol. He's not a business tycoon, but as a human, for me, he is my idol.
Having gurus in one life is very much important to have success.
Yeah, exactly. When I was my mother is actually a teacher, so she has
Yeah.
a quote. She teaches Hindi. She is a government teacher. So what she says, she quotes me, "Guru mare dham dham, shiksha aave cham cham." So basically, they are the path shower, and they are very crucial for
Hmm.
us. So whatever we are today, we are because of them. There might be some portion of contribution, but that small portion creates a big value.
Harisa, as we are seeing that India is rapidly transforming into digital, and every day new technologies are coming. So, how can someone ensure that they are ready for the upcoming jobs or future jobs?
See, the industry is revolutionizing very fast. Every 3 months we have a new technology in place. Things are evolving very fast. With the evolution of automation, AI, ML, machine learning, basically. So all these things are and I have also seen that there is a boom in the IT. So, you have to make sure that you have the skills, you have to make yourself future ready. A lot of jobs are, being snatched due to automation. So you have to ensure that you have the skills and you continuously upgrade yourself. Knowledge, one can, snatch away your money, but no one can snatch away your knowledge. So that is, most important. Keep yourself upgrading, learn new technologies and never stop learning. So, this is how, you can earn. Basically, I see people, they are basically, trying to do a lot, but they end up not achieving nothing. So make sure you have a goal and you just follow it and you achieve it.
Harisa, what type of mindset that others should be have for creating wealth for growth in their life and career? So, please give your belief on it.
So basically, positive mindset, I would say, and you should be focused on what you are trying to achieve. So, basically, everyone defines success in their own ways. Some people make a lot of wealth, but, they have other issues. Some people are living a happy life, but they don't have wealth. So it depends on whom, what you consider as success. Everyone has his own definition of success. So basically, you have to put your efforts, you have to decide what success means for you, then put your efforts in that direction, and you can create wealth. Earning money is not a difficult task, you can earn, but getting the satisfaction along with it and creating some value, you know for me, that is important. So have a positive approach, think things differently, basically. So that is what I would say.
You're right. Harisa, I want to ask that how many side hustles you do and why they are important to you.
There's a lot that I do. There's a big list which I cannot enlist right now. I know that we have some time limitation, due to bandwidth issues. So
But at
basically,
least you should be give three side hustle, okay? At least three.
okay, so networking is one of those aspects which I think is one of the biggest side hustle, because I think my network would one day convert into my net worth. So that is one aspect. I do some research apart from this, and I basically help startups, the student startup, basically studentpreneurs, who are hustling and who are trying to get the product. So I help them. I do some pro bono consulting for them. So these are the three hustles, as you asked me. I do a lot, I'm very much enthusiastic, and I try to do, different things, and I try to find out, what's that, I can do good at it and I could contribute.
Harisa, as you belong to the non-IT background, so please give some insights for non-IT students.
All right. So as you all, I told you while giving my introduction, I'm a mechanical engineer. So basically, you have to believe that, these days engineering is not just about being into code. You have to be across functional. You have to, you are a mechanical engineer, you have to learn, development, you have to learn programming, you have to learn how databases work, you have to learn how things intact. So basically, I met PB Sharma sir, who is the founder chancellor of RGPV. So what he told us, that we should not limit ourselves to just what our field. We have things these days are a mixture of all. Robotics is an example, how mechanism works, and how electronics come into play, and it makes things functional. So we have to be cross functional, and we have to learn. So if someone wants to get into IT, so basically he has to be a problem solver. He has to he should have the capability to develop that logic, and most importantly he should know programming, how to write a code, how what is the syntax. That is very important and very, very crucial. So you should have a good base enough, a good enough base which would let you to how you achieve, so once you have those skills in place, you can get easily into IT sector. It's not a big job. Lots of people who are from non-IT background, they also are working at very good packages, and they have also initiated some startups. So your background doesn't matter. The amount of effort that you put and the amount of learning that you get is important.
So these are the steps that non-IT background students should take to enter in IT sector.
Yeah, basically you have to make yourself skilled. You have to make yourself decide what you want to, first of all decide what you want to achieve in the next 5 years, where you want to see this. Find out the skills that you think are necessary to reach there, and what are the steps to reach there. So you have to follow a pattern of things, and then you can achieve that.
So I want to know that what technologies are booming in industries. Please tell some futures technology that students make career in them.
All right. So Siddharth, I was recently going through an article by Gartner, Forbes, and a lot of famous magazines. What I read, and I felt also that there is a large boom in data science, data analytics. Okay. See, full stack development will remain constant until and unless a destructive technology comes there. Now also we can see a boom in automation, RPA, basically. We can see that AI is booming, machine learning, neural networks. There's a lot being happening. So AI and ML have a good scope in future, and they have a lot of potential being seeing. So that is some potential technology that we should think about learning. Apart from that, since I belong from a core sector, so I would like to also add that the industry is seeing a boom in the additive manufacturing, that is 3D printing. So it is also going good. So people from non-IT background, they can focus there. So that's a great technology. Engineering is one of those technologies that is booming these days.
So what is your role in corporate?
Basically, I'm a business analyst, and I work with the management, basically the CEO and the founders of the company. I work with them, and I'm basically learning from them a lot. And every day is different, and we do a lot of things, and we are trying to brand ourselves as a we are a big company, so we are branding ourselves, and there's a lot of things going on which I don't think is right to explain and provide insights on it, since it's a bit confidential. So I'm sorry, I cannot answer this question in depth.
Okay. Rishabh, I want that you give some golden advice to our viewers.
All right, so yeah, that's a great question. So never stop trying, basically. Basically try to get out of your comfort zone and learn a lot as much as possible. You should continuously upgrade your knowledge. People like Bill Gates, they read if books. Even now they have everything, but they are still trying to upgrade themselves. They're doing a lot. So we have to continuously upgrade. Never stop trying. If you don't try, you won't achieve anything. Never have that failure of fear, because failure itself is first attempt in learning. So that's what I would say. Keep trying, and whether you win or not fail, it doesn't matter. Either you will win or you will learn. So that's it. So keep trying. That's it. That's from my side.
Okay. Thank you so much, Harisa, for inspiring me and for my viewers. Thank you so much for your time, Harisa.
So basically, you're welcome, Siddharth, and it was an interactive, great session. And I thank you for hosting this podcast and inviting me. So best wishes your future, and I hope so, that people
too,
would,
brother.
if they like
Yeah.
this session, they would like your channel, and they would also subscribe it. So, best wishes, and
Yeah.
so thanks a lot.
Best of luck. Best of luck. Have a great career ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.